How's it going, boys and girls, and welcome to the new Reptile room. For those of you guys that didn't see this video right here, you guys will not have known that everything went into this. So to make a long story short, this building started out like this, and after 2 months of work, it looks like the room that you guys are gonna get to see today. And now we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get started with this shelf right here. Stuff on this reptile room tour, we're gonna be talking about Phelsuma clemeri, otherwise known as the neon day gecko. It's one of my favorite day gecko species, just for the simple fact is you can really has it all for the day geckos, right? You have this absolutely beautiful colors, the neon blue, the yellow head going on, which makes an absolutely great display animal. Due to its small size, they're perfect for bioactive vivariums, and unlike some of the other day geckos we'll be talking about today, this one is fairly handleable. Not one that I take out very often, but one that I can definitely handle a lot more than, well, we'll get to those later. Right next to it, we have the Urodactylotes, otherwise known as the chameleon gecko, a small New Caledonian species of gecko that I absolutely love. Favorite New Caledonian species because it is a micro gecko that you can hold and handles just like any of your regular crustaceans and gargoyles. I have this pair going on in a 12x18 bioactive vivarium. I call this the mangrove enclosure because of the way the pothos air roots go down. You really get this like mangrove-y scent, what? Cool looking enclosure. We have hatched out some of our Urodactylotes, not as many as I would hope. We're only working with 2 right now, but hey, 2 babies is better than no babies. That's what I always say. Please give me more babies. I beg you. I really want to see more chameleons. Thank you, sir. You're a ma'am. I'm so sorry. I forgot that the Disney music channel was playing in the bird area that we'll get into later, and I don't hear it anymore because it plays non-stop for the birds. God, I hope I don't get copyrighted. And one level down, we've got the row of 8x12. On the list is going to be my group of morning geckos. We have an enclosure of a group of morning geckos going on. Once those babies hatch in there, I try to grab them as best as I can. Sometimes it takes me a couple tries. House all the babies in this enclosure right here. And then when they're old enough, we list them online and they go off. And that is pretty much what you do when you breed reptiles. There's your 101 course, I guess. Right next to it, we have this absolutely great Tokay gecko that we are raising up. This is from that platinum to het platinum that we did a while ago at this point. Female only ended up laying 1 egg. I swear to God, geckos were paired for 7 months, to platinum to het platinum, and I got 1 egg out of it. Unbelievable. The egg, however, did end up hatching, but our luck did not stop there because, well, it actually went worse. It ended up being a het, not a visual platinum, and to make matters even worse, it is turning out to be a male, which I would be a little bit excited because I could make visuals. However, now I have a visual platinum, and I'm not too sure what I'm going to be doing with this. I'll probably list it at some point. My mind says, you know, we can make visual platinums, however, I'm more going towards combination morphs at this point instead of producing more visuals, so I don't know. It might be listed at one point, it might not be. I haven't made that decision yet. So that one, we have some of the babies we've been hatching out, including Phelsuma lineata, the line day gecko, and then stuff like here, baby Urodactylotes that we just talked about. Look at how small these guys are, and even as babies, as handleable. Even like stuff like the crustaceans and gargs can get a little jumpy. However, this guy right here is just crawling around on me. I absolutely love this species. I wish we could hatch out more. I definitely want to get more and make this a little bit more of a staple at Dakota Blue Exotics because these guys are just incredible. Down on over here, we have the Quince monitor hanging out in this 4x2x4 enclosure. Let me see if I can get him. This guy has not been happy with me since the move. Obviously, we had to take him and put him in a temporary bin while we moved everything, and that was not his cup of tea. The Indicus complexes of monitor lizards, such as Varanus malinus, they're going to be a very flighty species and not apt to being super handleable, such as things like the Asian water monitor. I still think they make a fantastic species to work with, especially if you want a water monitor but don't want that water monitor size. The Quince monitor is absolutely perfect. And after a while of working with him, I'd probably say like a couple of years of owning him from baby to the size that he is at now, now. There's definitely a lot of progress. He no longer runs away from me. This is going to be a little bit different. Usually he will come up, let me, check me out, and then go back in. But due to the fact that he was moved, he's a little pissed off at me, and at that point he's not going to be too apt to want my attention in the near future. It's still a temporary enclosure for him. We are working on building out a larger enclosure for him that will go onto that section of the hallway, so the Frilled that we'll check out a little bit later will be moved into this one. Let's be honest with ourselves, boys and girls. The bare enclosure with some cocoa fiber and cork bark in it just isn't cutting it anymore. It's about time you did an upgrade for both your animal and yourself. Of course, you know I'm talking about bioactive vivariums, and for those boring looking enclosures, you have beautiful planted vivariums for your animal. I'm happy to announce we just did a huge restock on both of our plants and our isopods. We have a ton of different species of isopods, and then a bunch of plants as well, both in the 2-inch and 4-inch variety. And if you have an enclosure for something like a morning gecko or small species a day, or a larger enclosure, we have you covered. If you want to take the plunge into creating bioactive vivariums, check us out at dbprojectjungle.com, where we have everything you need for a bioactive vivarium. I've taken enough of your time. I'm gonna go before this bird starts dancing even more on me. Let's get back into the video. So we can start on the wall of PVC enclosures, which starts there and goes all the way over to there. First up is going to be the Amazon tree boa that I can't see right now. I think she might be hiding in her cave. I'm not too sure. The Amazon tree boa was the absolute worst one out of everyone when it came to moving these reptiles out. Not only do you have to deal with the personality of the tree boa, which is trying to bite you and strike at you every chance you get, I'm also dealing with all these little vines at the animal. Also dealing with all these vines and everything that the animal is trying to get in between, so I can't get her out. And then the fact she's also musking on me on top of that. All in all, this was the worst one when it came to moving stuff out. Next to it, we have the Leachianus gecko, my proven gal that humidity's just hit me in the face. That's actually awesome. A great story about her. Is I actually put her in a tub that had a screen on it, not thinking that the full-grown female Leachianus could break out of a screen and manage to get through that 2-inch hole. However, she did. And when I got over here, I realized, oh, she's not here. I ended up having to drive an hour and a half back over to that place. I probably looked for maybe like 30-40 minutes. Luckily, I got the eye of missing geckos because so many have escaped that I know where they hide. Ended up finding her, we got her back over here, and that was that's the story. Of course, it had to be the lychee gecko. Out of all the geckos over here, it had to be the $1,200 one that I only have one of. So if that female ended up staying missing, we would no longer be able to produce Leachianus. But luckily, that did not come. Just a couple of anxious days as I had to do all this and then head back over there and find her. But she's all good. She downed 2 full deli cups of food for the first couple of days I got her. But now her weight's back to normal. We soaked her, hydrated her, and she is good to go like she has been here the whole time. Even though she wasn't. She was in the basement, and I had to try to find her and drive a 3-hour round trip because this gecko managed to squeeze itself out of a 2-inch hole. How? I'll never know. Next up, we have a fully planted 2x2x2. This is the one I house for just grow out animals. The Tokays that have outgrown the 12x12x18 but aren't ready to be paired yet due to just their size. They're just at that weird one, too big for that cage, but not big enough to breed yet. Going on here is actually one of my imported paradox girls. If you guys remember that video, I'll try to put it right here. She came in really rough shape like some imports do, but after the quarantine process, we've managed to start getting weight on her, and now she's looking pretty good. I'm still gonna hold her back till next season for 2026 to breed her, but I'm just happy that she's doing great, eating more and more and gaining weight. And down on this one, as you can see by these crazy snake sheds, we have Vivian, the BCI boa. Viv has been in my care for approximately 10 years now. She is one of my oldest reptiles. I think Almo has her beat, but only by a little bit, maybe like 6 months or so. Take her out, show her off to you guys. However, she did, as you can see, just did a shed and definitely is hungry. And if you don't want to get by a snake, don't take a hungry snake out of its enclosure. I've lived by that rule, and I've only suffered 1 bite from Viv in the 10 years that I've owned her. Chilling in this AP cage, 6 foot by 3 foot by 18 inches. These AP cages are starting to show their age. There's a lot of bowing happening on this. The issue with the T25 is it's too wide. It needs a center bracket going throughout the whole enclosure in order to support itself and not do what's happening right now. But hey, an enclosure lasting 7-8 years, it's pretty good in my book. We'll eventually move her on into I want to give her a taller enclosure, like something like at least 3 feet. However, unfortunately, with this facility, it wasn't exactly what I had planned. We still got it done. It looks absolutely beautiful. But, you know, plans change, things happen, life changes, and we aren't able to give her that enclosure, but the next time we move, she'll definitely be going into a bigger size. Last one right on down here, going to be a 6x2x2 AP cage. I believe this is the T20 if I'm remembering right. Nothing's in there right now. This will be Jolly Roger's adult enclosure. Right now, you'll check him out a little bit later. He's still a little bean, although he is getting some size on him. He was like from this big to this big. Once he outgrows that 36x18, we will be moving him into here. Little peek, look at that little Phelsuma lineata. Lineatus. Is it is or I always say one wrong and not the other. I'm going to talk about my biggest passion of the projects that we work over here. The thing I love the most, of course, all of my Tokay geckos. Down the line, first up, we have the Diablo pair. This is going to be a visual Diablo male to a heterozygous form of Diablo for the female. We are sitting on, well, let me double check it. I believe we had 5 eggs last time I checked. Don't mind me, sir. We have 7 Diablo eggs now. Wow, this girl is on fire. 7 Diablo eggs is crazy. That is so cool to see. Very excited about that. Since we'll at least be hatching out a couple of captive bred and born visual Diablos, and then of course some hets as well. Next up on the list we have Candy Dot to my het platinum gal, the one that hatched that baby we talked about a little bit earlier. These guys have been doing great. I did find 1 egg, but it was bad, and she glued it to the actual wall instead of the cork is what they usually do. I mean, there's so much cork in here. I am surprised she did that, but you know what? I'm checking again. It's still just that one. I don't know what's up with just like this girl in particular, but she just hates laying eggs. She definitely laid a lot quicker with the Candy Dot than she did with the platinum male that we paired her with last time, so hopefully we can get some more eggs. We're still in summer, but summer's gonna be over in a couple months. I'm hoping for at least 1 or 2 clutches before the end of the year, before they start cooling down, to which point they usually stop laying. Step over here, we have the Green Galaxy project. This is a little thing I wanted to do to try to prove out if Green Galaxy was either just some sort of aberrant pattern or if it could be genetically reproducible. So we have our visual male that we did pair with this supposedly heterozygous male. This is a female that was produced by a visual Green Galaxy to normal girl. And we are sitting on 1 good clutch of eggs so far. Unfortunately, we couldn't get any more. The female really started losing some weight, so we separated and we're starting to get her going again. So we may end up getting 1 more clutch. That clutch has been going for a strong like 30 days. So in the next 2 months or so, maybe a little bit longer, we should be seeing some Diablo babies and some hopefully Green Galaxy babies. If not, I'll probably end up scrapping the project and selling off the Green Galaxy. He's a really cool gecko, a really cool novelty in my opinion, much like the pides, although pides are actually reproducible. I have no idea what goes on with the Green Galaxy, but oh well, you live and you learn. Still a cool gecko, and he's given me quite a few babies, even though they're not Green Galaxy. We've produced quite a lot from him. This is actually going to be a new pairing. If you're not a Patreon member and you don't get the behind-the-scenes content, you would not know that we paired these Tokays. Subtle hint to check out the description down there and join the Patreon crew. And over here, we did go with the platinum to reduced pairing. I'm very excited about this pairing. This will actually line up pretty good with the candy to het platinum as long as they do give me eggs. Pretty much what we're going to be doing at this point is be producing reduced heterozygous forms of babies. Due to the visual platinum, all babies will be 100% het, and then we'll get a 50-50 odds of getting reduced babies going on. At that point, we'll grow these out, try to find us a good double het. Due to the platinum having somewhat of a heterozygous marker, we should be able to pull 100% het platinum and 100% Candy Dot. At that point, we'll pair those, creating the visual reduced platinum that is going to be possible het for Candy Dot. And then after a few pairings, I'll hold back all of those babies. A few generations later, we'll be producing the triple gene, the reduced Candy Dot platinum. That'll be cool. We're going for double morphs and then immediately trying to hit up that triple combo. I'm very excited about it. Stay tuned till 2033 when I pull it off. And down here we have a little bit of a, not super crazy, but still cool stuff. I think all Tokays are cool equally. I just spend 4 grand on some and 20 on others. Down here we have the visual granite to possible heterozygous granite. This girl has been knocking it out of the park. We have had, like, including with the eggs, we should round out to about 19 babies this year from her alone, which is crazy. We are sitting on 3 babies right now. 1 is about to be available, 2 just hatched, and I believe there's like a crazy amount, like 10 or 12 eggs still in there. She still has a great weight. I checked her calcium stacks. Her calcium's good. We've been power feeding with the superworms to the roaches. Stay tuned for later when we check out what's behind that curtain and what's squawking. I'll give you 3 guesses. Right next to it, we have Oddball. Oddball was recently paired to my visual paradox male, so we have a good clutch of eggs going on from here that she's holding on. Unfortunately, the male did lose a little bit of weight during that. Sometimes when you're pairing Tokays, they don't bond completely while they'll breed and stuff, but one will take a lot more food than the other. Usually having one lose some weight versus the other. I mean, that's explanatory. Good job, Dakota. We did remove him. He's doing good, gaining weight again, but we're gonna hold him off for the rest of the season. But Oddball is still laying on this clutch. Hopefully, if I can prove Oddball right, over in that enclosure that we'll talk about, we are raising up a gecko that was produced from the granite to Oddball. Oddball right now is an unidentified mutation, so next season, when that male's big enough, we'll be line breeding right back to them, hopefully producing a visual for whatever Oddball is and proving that out. If that does happen to be the case, that means when these eggs hatch, we'll already have some double hets, 100% het for Paradox and 100% het for the Oddball mutation. Or if that's not the case, if we do pair them and they don't produce anything, she's just some weird aberrant pattern, we'll still have 100% het Paradox babies, which ain't the end of the world. Finally, we have my normal ones. This is from a very large red stripe male to a normal female. I didn't know these guys were breeding at all. There's actually a couple that you'll see that I didn't know eggs were in here. It wasn't until I moved this cork tube that I found, how many are there again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eggs going on. So these guys have been doing some work. 1 baby has hatched so far in there. All these guys will just be normals. Now there are going to be like larger, and I guess red stripe is more of like a phenotype versus an actual genetic mutation. So it'll have just a little bit more of those blurred lines, and the red spots being polka dot, they kind of blend into each other to create what we call red stripe. All cool. We've been knocking it off the park with Tokays. I don't know how many eggs I just said, but we've got quite a few. The unfortunate part of Tokay geckos is they bite you, they need big enclosures, they take a long time to breed, some don't breed because they have that bonding thing, and then lastly, the eggs take absolutely forever to hatch. Coming over here, we have just some absolutely beautiful bioactive vivariums. This is going to be my small gecko species and the Anoles that I've started this year. Anoles make absolutely fantastic geckos. Reptiles for bioactive vivariums. Due to their small size, obviously they're going to be a display. Most Anoles, especially these smaller species, aren't very handleable pet. However, they do make an absolutely gorgeous pet and a nice pop for your bioactive vivariums. Don't want your plants crushed, but you still want something in there. Check out Anoles. They work. On the list, we have Anoles macuba, an absolutely beautiful species that I love. I did see we have 1 baby running around somewhere in here. This one's been hard to catch, but I do know we have 1 baby at least, and then a couple of babies over in that rack that we talked about a little bit earlier. Next, we have Anoles carolensis, the green Anoles. Still no babies. I have had 4 babies for the macuba, 8 I saw a marmoratus baby running around in here, 8 for the marmoratus, but none for the carolensis. The green Anole. The most common Anole you'll ever see, almost the most common reptile you'll see, not so much anymore, but back in the day. And I haven't gotten 1 baby. What is going on? Up, we have Anoles marmoratus. God, the marmoratus project has just been bad after bad. Unfortunately, the female marmoratus did end up passing. We got a necropsy done, and it ended up being egg impaction, which really, really sucks. So I'm not sure what the plan is, if we'll continue to get a female marmoratus, if we'll grow out some of the babies and keep a female. I'm not sure what the plan is for this project right now. So far, you know, so much is going on. We just moved, we're setting everything up, we're just getting back doing YouTube videos, that I haven't had quite a time to really focus my attention on this specifically, but... Oh wait, I forgot to talk about the Phelsuma. The last vivarium on this is going to be Phelsuma lineatus, or lineatus. I can't remember off the top of my head. The line day gecko, very similar to the peacock day gecko, except instead of the peacock spots that you see, you're going to have the black line down the side dorsal. Very cool display species, not handleable. The lineata is the craziest of all my day. Well, Yeah, I'm looking at you. It's they're going par for par, man. I don't know which one's crazier, but absolutely beautiful display species. I find them a lot hanging out on this bromeliad leaf and just chilling. You can tell they chill by the poop that they're laying on the leaf. They're really cool. They've been prolific. We've gotten 5 babies from the lineatus so far, and well, I guess 6 now from one that's running around in there. They've been doing really good. Great for display bioactive bibs. Not great if you want a handleable pet. Okay, now we're down here. Over on this enclosure right here with this beautiful marble pothos. The marble pothos has to be my favorite variety of the potholes because it just looks great. This is going to be that oddball baby I talked about a little bit earlier, that male that we're growing out. He's so far, he's going on like the juvenile to subadult tier. Not old enough to breed yet, but hopefully I just got him to take super worms. Pretty soon into the next season, 2026, he'll be big enough where we can breed him to oddball and hopefully prove out some oddball babies, or the morph. Not the baby. Well, I guess the baby. Have the White's Tree Frog, Hamburger and Milkshake. Hamburger and Milkshake will be moved into a larger vid, the 18 by 18. We just recently moved, so I haven't had time to set up a bioactive vid for them. They've been doing great so far. Obviously, they're getting too big for this. I had them as little juveniles. They were like this big at this point, but now they've gotten quite large. Great little dudes. I've been smashing crickets. They love their little toilet bowl that I bought off of Temu back when I did a Temu sponsorship that one time. What a weird time. We have that morning gecko colony that I talked about. Now, this enclosure was not happy with me after the move. We see a lot of the plants, the fern. This is a fake prayer plant. I can't remember what it's called. A lot of dead leaves. A lot of the stuff dried out a lot quicker than I had time to set it up and start watering it. So the plants did take a hit, but all in all, over time, it will repair itself. I mean, the leaves are dead, but we'll grow new leaves. And this plant in this enclosure will be looking incredible once again. There are anywhere from 5 to 1 billion morning geckos. You take a guess on which one's the correct answer. I see eggs from time to time. I think I saw a baby not too long ago that I gotta try to grab. The morning geckos can cannibalize each other, so you want to get the babies out pretty soon, or the eggs. I opt for the babies because, I don't know, I like making my life more difficult. I'd rather grab an animal that's this big and runs from the blink in the eye than just take some eggs out. I love the hunt, I guess. I don't know. On the lowest of the tiers, some temporary enclosures for the males. This is that green galaxy on this one, and then that 50% het T plus albino male on this Tokay gecko. Sorry. Excuse you. Keep these guys in 12 by 18 simply for the fact is they're a temporary enclosure just until we have another female ready, which is usually only within about 3 to 6 weeks. We have one going on right on the other side of this. I need to move on over into here, in which case this guy will be moving up, and then we have another female that'll be ready soon for the green galaxy as well. Next to it, we have the Kieserlingi, T. Kieserlingi, otherwise known as the frog-eyed gecko, the most adorable gecko species. Prove me wrong. Tell me a more adorable gecko than this right here. You won't be able to, because this guy is absolutely fantastic. Smashing crickets, not too much to say about him. No eggs yet, which is a big bummer, but hey, maybe next year. I don't know, man. I cannot tell you. Shelf, we have the standing stay gecko, Phelsuma standing eye, are really cute. You guys are really cute right now. I know. Okay, you do that and you bite me. I did not know standing eyes, and you know, I think day geckos, I think flighty species. This male chomped me real good when I was moving him. I got like 2 or 3 good chomps that took quite a while to heal. Big shocker. Hanging out in an 18 by 18 by 24 exoteric cage, beautiful pothos, some airhead plants, bromeliads, one Talentia going on in there. No eggs. We're going on 2 years now. Nothing but bad eggs. I will give them 1 more season. I promise myself, you're not selling any adults in 2025, Dakota. Let's get everything recycled and going in this new place and give it a chance. If these do not give me babies in 2026, I am once again cutting. I've tried the standing eyes way back in the day, like 2021 or something, and I decided to pick the project back up because I had that female still laying around, and you know what? Maybe I gotta learn from my past mistakes and just keep projects where I left them in the past. Or maybe I'll get a bunch of cool standing geckos and I'll be a very happy boy. Only time will tell. Do I have good news about Bert and Bertlina? Yeah, I decided to call her Bertlina. You're welcome. I think these Tokays were laying for me, which is a bit of a bummer. Both of them are possible heterozygous for patternless. Now, do I think we're gonna get patternless babies out of here? No, but it's fun to pretend. However, when I was moving, and I moved this enclosure over here, I noticed on this side, upside down, we have a clutch of Bert and Bertlina eggs going on, which is super awesome, man. We'll be hatching on some Bert babies this year. I grew Bert out from he was like this big, and then he got handleable when he was this big. Now he's an adult. We got a girlfriend for him, and we are hopefully hatching out patternless babies, but most likely not hatching out patternless babies. But they're Bert babies nonetheless, so I will be charging $800 for them. This enclosure right here, we have that visual paradox male I was talking about a little bit earlier. This dude has been doing great, like I mentioned, gaining some weight. We had him listed in the 12 by 18 going on, and then we moved him in this 18 by 18. He's still gaining weight, at which point in a little bit, well, once pretty much we're ready to start building some more Bioactive viz, we'll be moving him into a larger setup, and then this will be the home for the White's tree frogs that we just showed a little bit earlier. Next to it, we have my Chihuahua geckos. The Chihuahuas that did not give me good eggs for 3 years straight. Finally, after so long, and I mean so long, we finally got a good clutch of Chihuahua gecko eggs. I don't know why, I don't know what was different, but we had 2 clutches of bad eggs and then finally 1 good clutch. The female most likely is done laying this year. The most I've ever gotten is 6 eggs out of them, so I don't believe we'll get any more, but hey, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, 2 eggs and 2 babies are better than no eggs or no babies. Thank you for my TED Talk. Let's move on to the other side. Moving on, we talk about this side of the hallway, which is all this stuff, a little bit of stuff over there, and Wilson. Now we'll talk about what's right in front of me. This is going to be a bit of a grow out wreck for some of our New Caledonian geckos, the crested gargoyles. Either that, and then there's a couple of those gargoyles that are actually on the morph market right now that are available. This way I just have them in a nice little area where I can get them when people buy them. And here we just got a couple little things. We got the little photo box room for when I take my pictures of the guys. Some more growouts, like, or not growouts, these are actually going to be a little breeder rack. Some of my Chihuahua geckos. Now we saw the ones a little bit earlier, that was the OG pairs. Here is another pair that we have over here. We only work with 2 pairs, but these 2 pairs did give us eggs, so we're on our way to 70 pairs. Down here we just have one of my cresteds. I only have 1 rack left, the rest are just going to be in tubs. Next season I'm going to be moving everything into PVC. I was planning on doing it this season, but like I mentioned earlier, well, life takes us on certain paths, and that path unfortunately drained all my money that I had for PVC enclosures for crested geckos. And of course, the one, the only, Wilson the sulcata tortoise, my favorite tortoise, and that is not just because he is the only tortoise. I've had this guy for a few years now. He's finally getting some weight on him. I feel like even the past, he's peeing on my hand. Okay then, I feel like the past couple of months, he's definitely been putting on some size. Even like the last reptile room, he didn't fit in my hand. He fit in my hand a lot better than he does now, so he's finally getting that tortoise growth spurt going on, because I feel like he should be a lot bigger than he is. We give him everything he needs. He's got the UVB heat, he does the outdoor activities and outdoor in the summer. Usually he'll be outdoor by now, but since the move we haven't configured an outdoor space for him. So hopefully he gets some size, because I'm waiting for that big sulcata. And not just a big sulcata pee. Stop peeing on me, brother. Jesus. Come on, man. You can chuff as much as you want, but you're still coming. And then right here we have a very special little dude, the Australian Frilled Dragon. This is an adult, 100% pure Australian male. Unfortunately, we don't have the breeding project for them anymore. The male was only mine. Of course, the male came with me. Maybe down the line we'll get another female, but for now they are very expensive and hard to find, and it's just not something on my priority list at the moment. And now we have this awesome guy. He's chilling in this temporary grow tent. Like I said, the quince is going to move to a larger enclosure, and then once the quince does, he will be getting that 4x2x4 for himself. So you love these guys. I always forget how big the Frills get. This is like, look at the size of this animal. That is crazy. This is a really good sized Frilled Dragon. Absolutely awesome dude, pretty handleable. I mean, he gets a little bit, you know, I don't know what the word is, frilly with me, but he calms down pretty fast, especially when he's outside of the enclosure. Chomps the superworms, man. This guy loves superworms. And all in all, an awesome pet. I can't wait to get him into that bigger space because he definitely enjoys it, and we'll be sprucing up a little bit more for him in the future. Yeah, it's time to go back. It's time to go back. Brother, where are you going? Brother. Don't you get huffy with me, young man. Don't you get huffy with me, young man. Folded. Outsmarted once again. On down to this side, we have the one and only, the one that you rarely got to see because he was actually upstairs instead of downstairs, Boris the Rhinars. You're not Australian, Dakota. The rhinoceros iguana. Rhinoceros. Jeez. Has been doing awesome. Unfortunately, with rhino iguanas, while they're babies, they are pretty flighty. I mean, unless you get like a really good one. I've known some friends that have them ever since babies. They're sweet as can be. Boris is not that. He was in the beginning, and then he got comfortable in his enclosure. Now, he's a very flighty animal. I'm just now getting him to hand feed off of me, and it's very rarely. It's about 20 minutes of me standing like a statue waiting for him to take the green. But I've heard from a couple of people that, you know, once they do get a certain size and once they get older and a little bit more comfortable with you, once it becomes like that by the adult size, they'll definitely be more calm and be that friendly rhino iguana that you see on the TikToks. Unless everyone's lying to me on the TikToks and I just made a bad purchase. But I'm sticking by it either way. This side, we've got the yellow-spotted night lizard, the video that I just posted recently. Here's that little card for you. Yellow-spotted night lizard's doing awesome. Unfortunately, with this grow temping, this is like the only place I could figure out where to put it. It kind of blocks the view of the night lizard. I just checked on him my apologies, a couple of days ago, and she's doing great, looks great, and all that. I just don't see her that often because, number one, they're a fully nocturnal species. Number two, I can't really see half of the enclosure. That'll change. This is pretty much 1.0 of the room. As soon as I start building a spacer for that, and then we build the Quince's cage, we'll be doing Reptile Room 2.0, which will pretty much transform this entire place once again. It's time for the spotlight once again, Mr. Rogers. It's time for the spotlight, Rogers. What a nice bearded dragon. Over here we have Jolly Roger, the bearded dragon, the friendliest bearded dragon you will ever see on YouTube. Absolutely glistening, gentlemen. Just look how flat he can be for the camera, and look how he smiles his little pearly whites for you guys. Oh, he stopped. Hang on. Let's fix that. There we go. Nice pearly whites, just for the camera. Bearded dragon I got just some random day at a pet store. I didn't know what KC paradigms were, and I thought this was the first pied bearded dragon, and I found like a gold mine at a pet store. That was not the case. Still an awesome bearded dragon. Not very friendly, I don't know why, but the good thing about him is he's a garbage disposal. This thing eats literally anything and everything I throw at it. Rocks, industrial grills, the ciabatta bread, whatever you can think of, this dude eats it. Awesome little guys. Did you just tail whip me? I didn't even know bearded dragons tail whip. God. Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers. Alright, you know what? Fine. Fine. Go back in. God. I've never had an animal hate me more than Jolly. Jolly's chilling in a 36 by 18 by 18 just like Boris. However, that will change. Jolly, once he gets old enough, will go in that 6 by 2 by 2, and Boris, as soon as I make those spacers on top of that 4 by 2 by 4, Boris will be going in a 4 by 2 by 2, and then once he outgrows that, I'll probably just let him free roam and have a little designated basking area for him. I'm building a pen for Wilson. That can be like a Wilson/Boris basking area, dude. That's so smart. I'm one step ahead of the game at all times. I know everybody came to this reptile channel to check out the birds, not me talk about crested geckos for all this time. So we'll just do a little brief of a montage on all of these guys because I have so many. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of cresteds over here. So let's do a montage of some of these guys. I gotta go wash and disinfect my hands, and then we will go check out all my birds and wrap this bad boy up. Last but certainly not least, the bird room. Everything's a little squished over here at the moment because I just set up this AC today that you can probably hear. Let me turn that off. It's gotta cool down. It's powering down. It just takes it a second. It's like cooling off, but oh, it's gone. Okay, moving on. Up first, just to make Dante jealous because he's been making my life hard filming this video all day, we're gonna be talking about Annabelle, the African Grey. Come here, Annabelle. Let's let you out while we make Dante go last. You're supposed to laugh with me, but you're not doing it, so I just look like a bad guy now. This is Annabelle. Oh, camera freak you out, girl? Alright, fine. How? Why are you doing that? Gosh. Rip the shit out of my skin. Why are you so mean? You really don't like the camera, my god. Forgive me. Get birds, they said. It would be fun, they said. Well, it doesn't really look as bad because I'm covered in tattoos. If you come up, are you okay? It's the camera? Yeah, you don't like it? Or is it the hat? How about now? Nope, it's the camera. Well, I'm keeping my hat. Is it both? What troubles you? This is Annabelle, she's my African Grey. Holy shit, dude, that actually hurts a lot. This is Annabelle, she's my African Grey. I've had her for 9 or 10 years at this point. She's about 11 or 12, depending on if I've had her for 9 or 10 years. I bought Annabelle when she was completely naked. All she had was the fur, or the feathers on her head, and a little bit on the wings, and nothing. It kind of looks very similar to how she looks now, because every time we move somewhere, it's a new place for her, it stresses her out, and then she plucks. I'll eventually do a full video. I'll probably do like a full story on all of these. These are all like really bad rescue cases that I bring in because, I don't know, I guess well, it's another video for another time. But this is Annabelle. Let's get one scratch. Let's get one scratch. You can do it. Boop. Well, I need to close this, and I can't when you're right where the closing part is. Good poop. I appreciate you. See? I pet her. She doesn't hate me. You guys saw that, right? You guys saw that. Yeah, you saw it. Over here we got Lloyd, the parakeet. I have a pair of budgies going on. I saw one in a pet store and it was all by itself and I felt bad and it was only 20 bucks. So I said, well, I got these two birds. Why not get one? And then I got one. Of course, you can't just have one parakeet because then they get lonely. That's the whole reason why I took it out of the... That's the whole reason I took it out of the pet store. So I got another one. That one's not as nice as Lloyd. I worked hard getting Lloyd to be as a good budgie as he is. Lloyd is pretty good. I keep him flighted because I like watching him fly. It's really entertaining and fun for me. And I like watching him explore and fly around. Dante and Annabelle, well, Annabelle can't because she keeps barbering her wings. And Dante doesn't fly too often. He didn't fly as a baby. Well, we'll talk about Dante a little bit later. But yeah, awesome little parakeet. Look at this little guy. This is the loudest bird I own. I mean, loudest bird I own. I mean, Dante screams, but like the parakeets, oh my god, very loud. But I sometimes like it. Squishy, 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 squishy. I don't know how he did it, but right before he took flight, he took a poop on me. And that's the kind of intelligence you get when you own birds. Potato, potato, Mr. Burke. We're here for one thing and one thing only, and that's the giant bird you showed off in the last video. Okay, let's talk about him. Come along, young man. While Annabelle is afraid of the camera, Dante embraces it, getting pissed off when I don't film or don't have him exactly on my shoulder while we film. Dante, the blue and golden macaw. Dante is 8 years old, I believe. Or no, he's, I've had him for 8 years, so he is 13 years old. Somewhere along those lines. Dante came from a very bad abuse and neglect case. They used to yell at him and beat on him when he would scream, and they would also just not a good household, so a lot of the family would scream and it freaks him out. So that's the reason why if I talk too loud in videos and he's not right next to me or on me, he starts screaming as well. That's why I thought it was a great idea to own this macaw where my job is talking to a camera and have him who is afraid when I talk and not on me. Went in for a nail trim in 3 days, and I'm very excited about it because his nails are very sharp. Even though this dildo stand is supposed to file them down, apparently it's not doing a good enough job. Now Dante is leaving us because I've offended him while calling this the dildo tree. But let's be honest, guys. You call a spade a spade. It's a spade's a spade, brother. Spade's a spade. Ba-da-da-bum, bum, ba-da-da-do-do-do. do. Jamming out too. Well, boys and girls, those are the birds. Don't go up there because I'm wrapping the video's wrapping up, sir. Sir? The video's wrapping up, sir. It's time to come down. We're wrapping up the video, so you gotta come down. You decided to get on here, but you didn't do that. Yep. Close. Now you just gotta... You step up for me? You be a good bird? You be a good bird? Of course not, because you're Dante. Watch this. Uh-oh. Looks like you weren't a good boy, so good boys don't get good treats. What do you say? You want to come down here? It's 3 minutes of my life I'll never get back. No. You think you're slick, don't you? Well, boys and girls, there you got it. The new reptile place and where I put everything. And birds, if you didn't know I had birds. I guess it's been a while since I've showed them off. We're gonna be back on schedule from now on. As you guys have seen, we are starting to bring back the YouTube videos, the Instagram reels, all of that good stuff. We are going back in action. The train is scooting where the train scoots. Videos are coming. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If that wasn't enough content for you guys, you want to check out what the reptile room looked like before we moved, check out this video right here, or check out the reptile room evolution that we have in this playlist. As always, thank you so much for taking the time of your day to follow us over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. I will see you guys next time, but until then, goodbye.